Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street. This is Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday. We got all,
I think we gotta officially change it to Thursday Night Frosthaven.
Oh, you know
Or are you
what?
gonna say it's Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday for the next
Yes, we are.
6
Yeah,
Thursdays?
so we've got a residence going with Thursdays right now. We're setting up, we're shacking up. Friday Night Frosthaven is going to be a Thursday show, but I am not. I do not have the time right now to produce additional letters in the Frosthaven title font to spell the word Thursday, specifically the U.
Can't
You know
spell
what?
Thursday without a U.
You wouldn't take too long. I'm probably not going to do it, but maybe I will. But for now, it's Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday. And here we are. And a very special Thursday indeed. Because not only do I have to explain how I solved a puzzle, but I have to explain how I solved a puzzle wrong and the funny roads that led us down and how I figured out from there how to course correct so that we could arrive at the same puzzle solution today.
Do you need to describe it? I feel like Martin described it pretty well on YouTube. Like we just
On the
sent
YouTube
people the
comments.
link. Just drop the link here in the chat.
No, it needs to be addressed within the
Need
context
some
of the
James
show.
Flair.
Hey, Rago Death in the house. But oh yes, Martin's comment was very helpful, as was Rago Death's. Although in both cases, the knowledge that the mirrors don't quite line up right in the light reflecting puzzle led me to overthinking. Because you correct for the mirrors not lining up by just pretending all the same color mirrors properly connect. But I was going off in wildly different directions and oh my goodness, I was way overthinking it and then underthinking it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Player one, playing the Aether Pain Conduit, whatever that means in the context of an Outpost phase. It's Rich. How you doing, Rich?
So good. I'm here.
Great. You are
Like
here. Here you are.
I could very easily just be like, I'm not gonna attend Outpost phases, but I don't because I'm playing the game. This is me playing.
Yep.
This is Rich playing.
And listen, it wouldn't be the same without you.
It'd be
Player
way
two-
better and faster.
Player two's not here. It wouldn't be as fun. And the fun is important. Player three, we do also need skilled play. So player three, playing the Unfettered Hive, Stevie, it's Greg. How you doing, Greg?
Very good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I got to hang out with my friend James with no attempt to turn it into a
yes,
a monetized activity.
We had we're not really trying to monetize it. In any case,
That's the ultimate goal, James. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. This is all leading to $1 million empire.
I feel like we'd be doing something differently if that was our goal. But we did not get to do Greg and James Beat 'em Up on its Wednesday evening debut last night because of last minute technical difficulties. And so Greg and I pivoted by going down into the living room and playing a Beat 'em Up together on the television and commenting on how it does and does not reflect different Beat 'em Up lineages and things like that.
It was a good time.
Hey, that's true, Rago Death. The keywords on the board do ensure that everybody is technically playing their character during the Outpost phase. Not necessarily every time, but it comes up enough, and like you can assume that an event might bring it up enough to talk about it. It's actually well done, I think. I understand if people are less fond than I of the Outpost and road events, Rich. But but I do think they're much better executed in this game than they were in Gloomhaven. And the person who reads those events...
I'm pretty confident there weren't Outpost phases in Gloomhaven, right?
Yeah, they were called town events. There was not a whole phase.
Okay, there
was
wasn't
just an event we did.
Great. I was like, man, I have completely blocked those out if those happened.
No, it's just town events. Because, Gloomhaven's just an existing city. Why would you get to have any influence over it and its development? It's the person who reads all these events. Player 4, playing the Lurker Deep Wraith, sort of, for a moment. For at least part of the time here, because she's going away. Click, trill, snip, click. It's James, your host here at 58 Dream Street. I'm saying all the words, not in the order I normally do. How's I been? Oh my, what a day. But here we are. And I made it to all of my things, and I'm enthusiastic about this, and I think I will bring a certain sort of energy to it. But I think my really running the show well energy was definitely used up while conducting a discussion panel immediately before I rushed home to get set up for this. But here we are. It's an Outpost phase. Once we get done talking about puzzles, I'll try to go relatively quickly. I had previously solved this, thinking the answer... Okay, so previously when I solved it, I had started out, I thought, overthinking it by being like, well, white's going to keep the same color if it hits white, and black's going to turn it off if it hits black, or turn it black if there's black light. I guess that's not a thing. And I went out with those thoughts in mind, and then I thought, no, I'm overthinking this. And then when I simplified it by not thinking about that at all, I was like, well, it's like a 1 and a I thought 2 of the lights were hitting at both the top and bottom of this. And I thought, that's like a 4. And then I thought, here, it's it's another 1. And we knew we had the clue of yellow, blue, orange. So following those lights. That's what I thought it was. 141 turns out to be a puzzle solution to something later. And so I found a puzzle solution when I checked in the section book. I was like, oh, hey, sweet. It really was so simple. And then we read it. And when we read it, we had that moment where Crane referred to the one who waits. Mm-hmm. And we were like, what's this? But he was talking about it like it was a thing he'd thought about before. And I thought just maybe we forgot, because we are playing this on a protracted time scale. But no, we were just reading a future thing. Fortunately, I think that it's not so bad that we did that, because we have been playing for 2 years almost at this game without really having a sense that there was a plot beyond see if we can solve some of the problems that Frosthaven is having.
Yeah.
But which is creating a bunch of different interesting plots. But it's how would we know when the game's over? Is it just formless and we just play until we're like, all right, everyone's retired in Frosthaven, which is a nice town now.
Nice.
But
yeah,
it's like how a farming sim ends.
It's just the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important part of it. But I really do think that if... I think there will be something good about the point where we go, oh, hey, there, we beat the game. We might find it free.
You're telling me, though, that, retiring and just being surrounded by a bunch of nice people isn't beating the game like that?
Oh, no, that is plot-wise. Absolutely. That is the best ending. I hope our characters get that. But I also assume there's the frost. We're going to have to stop the frost. And I guess that could be that obviously is the one who waits. Just hopefully it'll be less disappointing than the gloom.
Yeah.
In terms of a cool visual and a fun fight at the end. But I think it's good that we got foreshadowing of that. And then I came up with some headcanon to justify why it happened, which is that the Lurker Deep Wraith, click, trill, snip, click, has spent too much time in the bustling outpost of Frosthaven, surrounded by the chaos of all these thoughts, and it's beginning to fry her psychic crab brain. And so she wound up sensing the future and jamming all of our minds into a shared memory of the future. And so now it's like, oh, geez, this defective crab monster needs to go away. and she's retiring. She's gone for a different reason, because I completed my quest. I will today when we do a building. But there, that makes it work. We got a little taste of what's to come.
Wait, will you not complete your quest today? You won't complete.
Yes,
you
I
haven't
will.
Completed your quest yet?
No, I'll complete it today.
When we build a new building?
Yes.
So you're not retiring?
Oh man, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll still try to paint that mini, but you've still got one more mission left in you.
Sweet.
Let's go back.
Anyway, it'll still be the semi-true reason why she has to retire.
Let's go back to Torture Orb.
Okay. Well, we definitely don't want to go back to the Torture Orb with the Deep Wraith. And so we will do the one that we'll get to. So anyway, I went back to this, and having been told by Martin that I was on the right track originally with the white and yellow mirrors, and having been told twice that the mirrors didn't line up quite right, and I started out overthinking it again, and then finally I was like, you know what? It's mostly just going to be the same colors hitting the same colors until they hit a white or a black. And when I did that, so then I was like, okay, so this is going bing, 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 like that. And then it's no longer yellow once it hits purple. So that shape, I was like, I guess that's kind of like a 6. Like a weird way to draw a 6, right? To like slash through it when you come back on the circle. But that's what I thought it was. So I got a 6. And then I still didn't know what the hell was going on with the blue. And I can't remember what I landed on, but it was still a distorted vision of what it was. I think I made it a 2. I'm not sure. And then I'm glad that I don't remember, but I don't quite remember what I justified the orange to myself as on my next guess. But it was something in the 60s. And I went and checked, and it was a puzzle solution. But this time, because Martin had said the text will make more sense in the context of the spire puzzle with the demon at the top of the spire, I just quickly scanned it. And I was like, nope. I did it again somehow. And then I said, okay, think about, what the hell is going on here? And then finally I realized this would make more sense if I turned it upside down to make it a 4. And I realized, oh, they all rotate. And if you rotate them, then all of a sudden you're not trying to justify a shape. You're like, oh yeah, okay, fine. I just shouldn't have assumed that they were all upright. And so it's 435. Let's read section 43.5. Fortunately, I'm positive I solved the next puzzle, right? So we can just get through that quickly. 43.5. Puzzle solution. Crane's room is empty. The books, the papers, everything is still here, but the Quattro himself is missing. Given you've never seen him outside his room, you find it a bit odd and set out to find him. Nearly half an hour later, you spot the Quattro shuffling between cabins. In one hand, he's carrying a half-used torch, and in the other, a pot of pine pitch. As you approach, you notice he's shaking his head and talking, as if stuck in an argument with himself. It isn't until you're a few feet away that he notices you. Aha! He says, a bit surprised. It's nice to see you again. And what's that? You hand him your notes on the diagram and explain what happened in the spire, but the Quattro seems distracted. Yes, it's troubling. Good work, but troubling. He pockets the note. Listen, I have some news as well, but I'm in the middle of an experiment, so you'll have to walk with me while I explain. The Quattro starts moving without waiting for a response. The book, Project Source, he rattles on, gesturing with his charred stick. I've made some more progress with the translation, but in order to move any further, I need you to verify some of the findings. The two of you snake between cabins. I guess it's him and the Deep Wraith. A crane pauses to sift through a pile of junk, pulling from it a piece of ruined cloth, which he wraps around the used torch. Satisfied, he keeps moving. According to their notes, The researchers concluded the energy source at the spire was too dangerous to work with, and so it was ultimately abandoned. A very grim account, I assure you. Though it sounds like you know exactly what they mean. He stops at a section of the palisade wall and, using a metal spoon, scrapes out a bit of clay from between the logs. He crumbles the clay into his pitch pot and keeps walking. But their account did help me crack one of their thornier words in their dialect. Death. It would seem these researchers were very interested in the concept. After the incident at the Spire complex, they went on to investigate a new location, one they only refer to as the Death Site. I need you to find it. Tell me what's inside. Dorothy's journal contains a sketch of some device at the site if you come across it in your travels. Should it be in a temple or crypt of some kind? Hopefully her notes will prove useful. Crane comes to a sudden halt. He's brought you to one of the guard stations, right next to one of the iron braziers they use to keep warm. The guards themselves watch from their post as Crane, without any ceremony or explanation. Crane. They repeated the noun. That wasn't me screwing up. Let me try this again. The guards themselves watch from their post as Crane, without any ceremony or explanation, dunks his stick into the pitch pot and then shoves the gloopy thing into the guard's fire, which bursts into a violent blue flame. Ah! All wrong! Crane holds up his torch, the flame burning a brilliant sky blue. He scoffs, drops it into the snow, and walks off. Our reward for solving that puzzle was to turn to the next page in the puzzle book. I turned to the next page, and I found this puzzle on the next two pages. This is the page 8 and 9 puzzle, a gear set. I thought, oh no, gears. I'm going to have to model gears in my mind. And then I was immediately relieved to realize that they are not connected. So it could not have anything to do with how turning one would affect, like, turning 4 gears away from it. So I knew that at least. Then I looked at the symbols on them. Things like a skull, a triangle, a scarab, an anchor. It's the clue. It's the clue we got in a scenario reward at the end of the glowing catacombs scenario where we were locked from proceeding. The ending text was like, you find this cool door, but you can't figure out how to get through it. And it left us with an obvious heavy-handed clue. Greg, would you read the obvious heavy-handed clue from how I recorded it in the spreadsheet?
Yeah, you recorded that over here for some reason.
Yep, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. For book puzzle 3. Glowing catacombs. Clockwise from top, skull, scarab, triangle, moon, star, anchor.
So, oh hey, it's these symbols. Boom, right? This is that puzzle. So it's time to solve it. I didn't have to wait or worry that I was trying to solve it without clues. I had the clues. I went back and read the scenario ending text, and I'm glad I did because it describes the mechanism and specifies that each individual gear can be rotated, but also the whole thing can be rotated, which I would not have got just from looking at this picture, which does not look to me like a thing that obviously rotates as one unit. Like with all these hoses that seem like they're attached to the wall, coming in and out, or these valves or whatever they are. It just feels like it's more stationary than it apparently is. Once I knew that, one part was obvious. I had to look at the symbols in an order where I could read clockwise and find those symbols in order. So like skull, scarab, triangle, moon, star, anchor. Is that it, Greg?
Moon, star, anchor. Yep.
Yeah, so rotating it until it was, in the order that it says it should be. So I could look at it another in clockwise order. Skull, scarab, triangle, moon, star, anchor. Okay, great. Now, how do I get from there to a number? Well, I don't know if this is coming through on the screen, but some of these have numbers on them in the number language of the ancients or the unfettered or whatever this is.
Yeah.
And so I had solved that puzzle earlier, and it just comes down to every line in a digit adds 2 to its value, and every dot adds 1. And then you just got to look at how many lines and dots are there. So I saw those numbers, and then it was a question of trying to figure out how, having ordered this correctly, well, what does that mean for me in terms of solving the rest of the puzzle? So that's where I was. Okay. So, skull, scarab, yeah. Okay. So, from that point, I started trying different things, and I wasn't really sure. I could not figure it out. I struggled with this for a little bit. I can't even remember the ideas I tried. I only validated like 1 or 2 because I looked and I was like, it's not a puzzle solution. And I was like, I'm just guessing. I'm not even, I don't have a theory here. But then when I came back to it, I thought, it's got to be like, because these parts are specified to rotate 2, it's turning it to do something with the symbol that is the main symbol that I looked at that gear for in the first place, like skull, scarab, etc. And then I was like, okay, but what position do I move them into? There's no clear like lock-in place where they should go. And then I realized, just before I started really overthinking it, I realized no matter where the lock-in place was, whether it's on the inside or the outside, then there would be numbers on the opposite side, I bet, of 3 of them. And those would be in the read this position, whether it's supposed to be locked to the outside. That's the only consistent recurring position that will always be easy to predict across. It just made sense. And I looked, and there's only 3 of them where the specified symbol, like the skull does not have a number across from it. The scarab has a 2. The triangle does not. The moon has 6. Dot, dot, line, line. 2 times 2 plus 2. And then, yeah, and the star has 5. And so, the answer is 265. So I went to validate that, and this is one that you really feel confident in when you get to it. Why? Let's find out together. Section 26.5, puzzle solution. And then it just says, there's no text, there's no like body text. It just says section links. If glowing catacombs is complete, read 124.1 now. If Temple of Liberation is complete, read 127.1 now. So if we had gone the other way in the Algox quest line, we would have discovered this same device in the Temple of Liberation. But instead we found it here. And also, like once I saw glowing catacombs, I was like, yep, this is definitely, I am not accidentally like wrong solving this puzzle again. I'm right about this one. Right off the bat. So let's go to section 124.1.
I feel like the James Long solve at one point was how we got out of an escape room. Like, didn't we?
Yes.
Like barely make it, and we were like, wow, that was really hard. And the guy was like, you did that completely wrong, but I've never seen anyone do it that way.
It was specifically because the technical writing in the lengthy instructions that the escape room creators gave us was so unclear that it was Lauren who was the worker there. She was working there the day we did that. And she's the one who came in, and I was like, what was, like, here's how I figured it out, but what was the answer?
That was Lauren?
It was Lauren. And she said, you didn't know her at the time as Lauren, but I did. And she came in and said, she asked us what we thought. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, this is how I solved it, but that can't possibly be what you expect people to do in this escape room. And she was like, have you never done, like, a logic elimination matrix? And I was like, that's all it was describing? Like, this sounded way more ornate to me what they were trying to describe, which I could not execute. Like, it did not read like the description of, like, you know, Oh, Johnny didn't have the blue hat, but he did come in first in the race. Matrix. Like, I understand that. Like, I could have solved that in 2 minutes, but I solved it by like building the logical proof in my mind, like formally. It was stupid, but what can you do? But yeah, we did.
Oh,
Like,
I'll
at the
tell you.
last
I'll
minute,
tell you
it
what
came
we can
together,
do.
and we solved it.
I did nothing, and Robert shouted at you the whole time. That's what we did.
Yeah, and I solved a bunch of the little puzzles along the way, but I could. We should have been out of there in like a half hour. Oh well, we got out. We won. Why am I complaining about our performance? It's not like it was a competition. Okay. Section 124.1. Puzzle solution. Splendid, Crane says with any hint of irony. You're standing several dozen feet below ground, in a nearly lightless crypt, and all around lie piles of recently slain undead. Really marvelous. When you return to Crane to make a report on this death site, the Quattrel asked so many questions that you decided it was easier to just show him. 10 minutes down here, and the Quattrel has already pocketed a hunk of stone wall, 2 vials of dirt, a glob of imp residue, a square of matted fur, and a handful of loose teeth. Only once his pockets are bulging with dusty remains does the scholar stop and explain. These bodies, he says, confirm Logren's theory about the place. Now, I simply need to repeat her experiment and then we'll know for certain. Crane unties a small storm lantern from his packet, and after adding a dram of odd-smelling oil to the reservoir, lights it. The flame catches and burns an eerie green. Oh, hey, he's learning how to do different colors of fire. And the instant it's lit, several wisps of greenish vapor rise from the stonework and coalesce around the lamp. There, Crane says. This is what the researchers were investigating. A divergent energy that still lingers, apparently, in certain parts of the north. I'm still working through the notes, but from what I've read, this energy always reacts to the burning of a particular solution, and it always triggers certain... He nods at the pile of undead bodies. Unusual phenomena. Crane puts his lamp down, and the green vapor begins to build, swirling around it like a tiny storm. Lurker and her team theorized that the energy was the result of war fought long ago in the north. This crypt lies on one of the major battlegrounds. The green storm circling his lamp gets bigger by the second. In order to understand the nature of the energy, we'll need to investigate the other sites. There should be a few more points along the northern coast. I'll give you a set of coordinates for a place to start. He hands you a note that simply reads 3M, 1L, 7A. You then watch as Crane pulls on a thick, oversized leather glove and, moving quickly, tries to snuff the lamp. However, when he reaches down, the green vapor attacks his gloved hand and tears at it with angry, spectral teeth, taking out several visible chunks. As soon as the light is out, Crane rips the glove off and flings it to the far corner of the room, where it smolders a greenish smoke. Satha might be needing a new pair of gloves soon. Rewards. New scenario. Haunted Vault. And then it says, do not turn to the next page in the puzzle book. Instead, write the solution to the next puzzle on the same page. The next puzzle? So does that mean the next puzzle on the same page? Is there another puzzle if I look closer at these gears? Or does it mean the next puzzle, like, we'll go to the Haunted Vault and get a puzzle? We're going to find out, because we're going to the Haunted
Isn't there
Vault.
a little box on the bottom there on page... what is that?
Well, yeah,
What did you say this was?
Yeah, there's the place to write it down.
Yeah.
The answer. So, like, that's where we'll record it. And it says to record it on the same page. But does it mean that the next like, again, it says, write the solution to the next puzzle on the same page.
Yeah.
So is it next puzzle on the same page, or is it next puzzle?
I think it means in that
but
spot
on the same
there.
page. Yeah. Like, it's definitely going to be written here, but is the puzzle here? We will find it.
We're
Because we're going to go to the Haunted
We're
Vault.
always looking for 3 numbers, right?
3M, 1L, 7A.
Yeah. Are those the numbers?
Like, are they here?
Like, is that the answer?
That can't possibly be the solution to the puzzle, no. They're like, I was thinking coordinates, Regodeth, because the letters and numbers, every location is at a letter number combination. So I'll have to investigate that.
Okay.
But well, hold on. Let's investigate that right now. We have the map here.
Sure do.
I'll have to advance the camera.
So what's a 3M?
Let's find it.
It's riveting stuff, Rich.
Don't worry, we're gonna get to the Outpost phase. Rich is like, oh, when are we gonna get to the Outpost phase? Okay. So let's just see. 3M. 3M is it's an empty place, except sort of the frozen fjord touches it, and so does the elemental cores scenario. But only sort of. Okay.
So did this unlock anything?
Oh, you know what though? It's gonna be a triangulation thing. I will triangulate on my own time. It's gonna be those 3 coordinates, and then where's the thing in between them?
Okay.
I bet.
Outpost phase?
But I'll figure it out. Okay, so let's proceed to the Outpost phase.
Yeah, they'll say something.
But yeah, I think we're gonna, unless I figure out a cool thing with the coordinates, we will go to the Haunted Vault and see what happens.
Alrighty.
But anyway, I like this puzzle book subplot, which probably is not a subplot. I think is going to reveal itself to be like the main plot, or to the extent that there is a big monster plot, it's going to be like Crane is going to let it out, I bet. Or he's already done that. This feels, it might be just because I'm playing so much Darkest Dungeon too, but this feels like a dude who is going to do something awful in the pursuit of arcane knowledge.
Mm.
We've all done it.
He gives that energy.
Yeah. He really does. Being fussy with the camera. Probably made it worse. Yeah, that's worse. There. Okay. Outpost phase. The Outpost phase begins with the passage of time. It's not an exciting passage of time tonight.
Nothing happens.
Hey, what happens after nothing happens?
Outpost event.
After nothing happens tonight, but we've moved 2 ticks closer to the next exclamation point, which is something. God. I don't know what. It's not. Is it Rich? No, I don't think it is. Anyway, we'll find it.
It's something.
Okay, so, whoops. Hey, you're walking through town. Sorry, this is Summer Outpost Event 26. You're walking through town when you lose your balance for a moment. Perhaps you haven't eaten enough. No, there it is again. Ahead on the street, an older gentleman stumbles to the ground. Before he can rush over to assist, the shockwave hits. An earthquake is rocking Frosthaven. Option A, assist the town guard in bracing the buildings. Option B, assist the town guard in digging out the injured. If we dig out some of the injured, maybe some of them will be dead. Get some skulls.
I feel like this is a pretty basic. If we don't brace the buildings,
this is
we
when
lose
the
a
team
building.
is realizing that Click Chill Sniff Click is just not adjusting to to live it in the outpost.
I
think if we role play a little bit, we should be bracing the buildings. None of these people would be like, let's help the people.
Yeah.
community-minded robot. But
Yeah, no, but I think the robot would be like, you know, if the structures are not preserved, like all the people will be lost.
plus, they can just burst into their component parts and claw themselves out.
I actually
say
think
Bryce-
that if we're role playing, both the pain conduit and the lurker would be like, let's go to the people. The pain conduit because that's where the pain is radiating, and the lurker for the reason I said.
Sure.
Maybe the people will die, and also like I'm gonna help shore up the buildings with my big clappy claws.
Yeah. Put your big clappy claws up there.
Might need some flying.
I feel like this is a pretty obvious outcome. Like I feel like
Like we
if we
lose
don't show up the
morale if we don't
buildings-
help people. I bet.
yeah, we lose morale, but we don't lose any buildings, or we gain morale, but we lose a building.
Well, we maxed out our morale, and we got the event.
Yeah, I think we should do
Fuck
the
these
buildings.
people. Yeah. What do they need 20 morale for? You're not happy? 19 morale is not good enough for you? You never had it so good. Your morale was 10 when I showed up in this place. All right. Option A, assist the town guard, embracing the buildings. Option A, you gather as many large wooden beams as you can find, and set them up against the most vulnerable buildings, those leaning dangerously in the aftermath of the tremors. Hopefully it's enough to keep some of them from collapsing. Lose 1 morale.
Oh, but we worked so hard for that morale.
But we deduct 5 from the ensuing attack. The earthquake attacks, 15 plus X, where X is 15 times the number of checked boxes below. But there are no checked boxes below. This is the first time the earthquake event, which is obviously going to recur, has happened. So, it's
So
just
15 times 0?
15 plus 0.
Oh, 15 plus
Minus
0. Okay.
5. So it's an attack 10 against 4 targets. What are the targeting principles?
Well, James, our defense bonus is 25.
I
So
feel-
I'm not feeling that jeopardized by these attack 10s.
by these attack 10s, I think we need to literally pull the wreck card. But that exists. So we got to do the
That's
pulls.
true, but I mean, does a soldier sacrifice negate a wreck? I don't think it does.
I need to consult the rules for a moment. Because this attack specifies no principle for the order in which buildings should be attacked. So I'm sure it says in the rules, if there is none, do this. But there always has been.
If the attack has no target priority, the party decides. Each building can only be targeted once, even if the number of buildings within the target priority is lower than the target value.
So it's just we get to pick which buildings we were the laziest in shoring up.
Which 5 buildings?
Which 4 buildings?
4 buildings. I keep getting these numbers wrong. Okay, well, which 4 don't we use? The enhancer.
Well, yeah, we don't use the enhancer. I also feel like we're not super likely to lose any buildings. So we take some comfort in that.
Well, I would say the enhancer, the workshop, is that still on offer?
So hold on. Yeah, if the enhancer did get wrecked, we would all start the next scenario with disarm. Which I think would be less of a big deal in the weird, gimmicky puzzle scenario that the Haunted Vault...
Is that a scenario effect?
No.
No, that would be an outpost effect.
But I bet we're not going to lose it. It's only a 1 in 20 chance. Or even better, because we have at least 1 perk. Although I'm not sure if our perk changed the total number of cards in the deck. Anyway. Okay, so the enhancer. Sure. The enhancer is the target. Who else?
How about the workshop?
The workshop? Yeah.
We finished that.
Yeah, we're done with the workshop. Don't let the workshop guy hear us talking about it, but nobody cares about his lawn decorations that he makes for people. There's a
Is
lawn in this
anyone
outpost.
crafting anything this outpost? Or doing any potions?
No. Okay, fine. Let's risk it all. The carpenter, the craftsman, I mean, and the what was the other thing we said just now?
Potions? I don't know the name of that building.
The alchemist.
Alchemist. Yes.
Yeah, might as well because we've decided that we're going to be responsible, like the industrious ant, and save the flame fruit by planting it in our garden, so we get a supply of the rare flame fruit going. It feels like it's supposed to be like a telegraphed useful purpose of the garden to get everyone excited about it. Which is great. That's good game design. Okay. Well,
I like the garden.
let's pull the attacks. The craftsman comes under an attack 10. I don't think we can look any mother in Frosthaven in the eyes and tell her that her son had to die for this. So
I'll do it.
Yeah, we're just going to pull it. Pulling it. It's a -10. We survive.
Yep, we're good.
All right, the craftsman's okay. The alchemist is up. This is an attack 10 on the alchemist. +50. Our Algox companions shore up the building for us. +50. The enhancer is on deck
Wish
for
I
an
had
attack.
that in my
New attack modifier deck.
Attack 10 +0. Yeah, if only Frosthaven was a beat 'em up, we could press the third button to freeze the screen and do the screen clearing attack where we summon the Algox into the Prince of Frost battle. That would be worth saving for that last room. Workshop comes under attack 10. We pulled a +10. We're safe.
Well, good.
The earthquake failed to fell a building. We must now check one of the 3 boxes. When all boxes are checked, we'll be adding Summer Outpost Event 47 to the Outpost deck. And, of course, removing this one from the game.
Do you think these earthquakes are signaling something? Like if we get all 3, then it will be like, it turned out there was a worm that was coming.
Oh, definitely. I think there is something more significant than just earthquakes suck to this film.
Mm-hmm.
Same. I think that too.
Mm-hmm. Good thought, Rich.
I'm sure.
We just lasered in on this.
I'm sure that if you really thought about it, you would come to agree. But it's okay.
Wait, James, why take those all away if we're about to do the building phase?
Because it's easiest, because we're going to do it faster if I'm holding them, and I'll put down the active one as we go.
All right. Well,
and partially because I just started doing it just because, and we'll be okay. Okay. Mining camp is up first. We can, of course, collectively buy up to 2 metal for 2 gold each.
Let's see what our supplies are right now, because I don't think...
Well, I have 16 gold, so what am I doing?
You're not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Do you want to spend 4 of it to
Big
get
spender.
2 metal?
Yep, give me the metal. 2 metal.
Right.
Right into the supply. Socialist crab over here.
Oh, you want to put it right in the outpost supply?
Yep.
All right.
She's Click Trill Snip Click is realizing she needs to return to the sea. She's let herself become encumbered by the trappings of land life. Hunting Lodge. We can collectively buy up to 1 hide for 2 gold apiece. I'll do
now
it.
I will. Hold on, James. Before we do that, I will say this: we have 23 hide.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Someday when we have to build
now we got 24.
Someday when we have to build a giant Trojan horse or something, we make the skin for it out of hides. Wrap it in
Trojan
hides.
horse famously made of skin.
Well, what else? Like maybe we won't have enough lumber to do wood paneling, so we just wrap the hides around. If you tan them, it's like horse skin.
Terrifying. What a terrifying creature.
It's a hideous thing, yeah. But up in the north, you do what you have to do. The logging camp, upgraded like the mining camp, lets us buy up to 2 wood for 2 gold each. I'll do it. 2 lumber.
I've already done it, James.
All right. The garden lets us plant herbs. Rotate this card 180 degrees and then stop.
Yep,
We're going to plant a Flamefruit. Greg, would you improvise a spot somewhere? Trojan Flesh Friend, says Rigo.
I thought you were going to make him improvise the sound of planting one.
No. But just somewhere, write down that it's a Flamefruit in here.
Don't you have a sticker?
A sticker?
Yeah. I am looking at the rules.
Okay, hold on.
And it says affix a matching sticker to any plot.
Okay. There's the problem. I just needed to reread the dedicated rules. Where are they, Greg? They're in the Outpost phase, of course.
Yeah. It was a sticker we added to the rulebook.
Yeah.
There is an online version of the rulebook where you can toggle on like the spoiler rules as you unlock them.
That's a great feature. Okay.
So I've been updating my personal rule shorthand as we do that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yes, now I understand. The way we replace them is just by covering them with another sticker.
That's why my rules shorthand has stayed virtually the same since we started playing.
Yes. I'd love to compare documents, Rich.
I have written down top and bottom of each card.
Yeah.
I mean, that is really like the key thing you need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
If you can read the cards, you don't really need that much more to play the game. Okay, I don't know where the Flamefruit stickers are, so I will do that on my own time when I find out where I put those.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I was looking at the envelopes earlier.
Are they on the same as the garden, or are they on the same as the potions? I would assume they'd come with the garden, I imagine.
Yeah, they must have come with the garden, and here's the envelope. I got it. Oh, sweet. These are cute little stickers. Okay. Flamefruit. Need to make sure that I'm getting a Flamefruit, not a rock root. Because a rock root, if you look at it sideways, as the stickers happen to arrange the icons here, really could look like a fireball with a long tail. Okay, the garden is over here.
How many plots do we have in the garden?
Boom. How many what?
How many plots do we have in the garden?
Right now we have 1. I assume when we upgrade to level 2, we will get this one. Yeah. And then level 4 to have 3. So who knows what the garden level 3 does. But okay, that's been planted. This has been rotated. And so now the way that it works, we're just going to get the Flamefruit.
How often do we get a Flamefruit from it?
Well, it looks like it has to then rotate again. So 2-week cycle. I'm not sure if we have to replant it or not. We'll figure all that out.
No. I don't believe you need to replant it. I think it just
generates. Right, never mind, because that would make no sense. That would just be like nothing. You're not.
And also, why would they make you put stickers down?
Yes, that's another good point. It's just the wording on the card would make you think that you have to plant herbs again, but no. Okay, rotate. It just keeps rotating. So it's every 2 weeks. Every 2 outpost phases, we will be able to harvest a Flamefruit.
Okay, next, building.
The craftsman has no operation. Oh, wait. Yeah, no operation phase. It's a downtime phase. Mm-hmm. The alchemist has no operations phase. The enhancer reduces enhancement costs. The library has no operations phase. The workshop is nothing anymore. The carpenter, of course, reduces construction costs by 1 material. The town hall says before a scenario we draw a challenge, and the barracks, of course, is full with healthy soldiers who worked a solid 9 to 5 days shoring up buildings and then went home safe. So there we go. That's the operations
Hey.
phase.
Guys,
Yes.
Yeah.
this is. Should I have a bunch of unhealthy mixtures on me to just drink to immediately give to somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what? This
not
is
a
not
bad
a
idea.
terrible idea.
You can't have a bunch though. You can only have
No,
one
you only
copy
have
of an
one.
item.
But you might as well have an unhealthy
You might as well
mixture.
have one. I see no reason why not.
How many monies? 2 herbs of the same type. I feel like I can do that. Oh wait, no, I
Currently,
can't.
you
do
have
that.
0 herbs. We do have
Yeah.
3 arrowroot in the outpost, so you could use up 2 of those, and we'd still have an arrowroot. Or
You
the
guys-
same with corpse caps, actually.
Do you care if I do that?
James, do you have a preference between 3 arrowroot or 3 corpse caps?
So that's what we currently have of each, is 3 of each?
Yeah. So if we get rid of 2 to make an unhealthy mixture, then we'd have
Yeah.
1.
Let's do rock root.
That wasn't an option.
Arrowvine. Oh, it's Arrowvine and corpse cap. Then corpse cap.
Yeah.
Sorry, corpse
Corpse
cap.
caps. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Like wound self and poison self. I have some cards that give all of my
Yeah.
bad things away.
Not a bad move.
Yeah. I will say that, like, this does not reflect a sound understanding of what a mixture is.
Okay.
You get
So we're
the
down to one
unhealthy
corpse cap.
mixture by combining a thing with the same thing.
Let me
Which-
run down.
Which
Let me run
should
down the
just be
downtime
the
options
same
here.
as the normal thing.
We're in downtime now, by the way. Rich has already started. He's so excited.
I have
Level up.
something to do.
Rich is leveling up, which means he's gaining a perk, but he's not just gaining one perk.
We're getting all the perks.
Because Rich is gaining all the perks.
Oh, and you're
So
leveling up?
Yeah.
So Rich, remember, you gain a perk for every character you've played before. You gain a perk for every level you've gained, including levels you gain through automatic level up when you make a character. And you
Okay.
gain a perk for every 3 check marks you get.
Greg.
Well, I have
changed
0
my
check
mind.
marks.
Okay. What?
Greg, I'm sorry. You have to go back. I have changed my mind. Because look, will it ever matter to have popped all of these? Probably not. But why don't we? So Arrowvine is what we will consume. 2 of.
Okay.
And confirmed. It makes an unhealthy mixture.
Fair enough. What was I going to say? So Rich, how many does that get you? Like, are you up to 5 now? You're level 3 now?
I'm up to 5.
Yeah.
No, I'm level 5.
You are level 5. And you played
Yes.
1 character before.
No, I played the Banner Spear and
Yeah, he's
I
played
played
2.
the Blink Blade for like 15 minutes. Remember, I just rushed through the Blink Blade
But you should
and
have
retired as
6
quickly as I
perks.
could. Okay, so I got 1 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like enjoying playing the Blink Blade, but had to like focus a lot more on the game
Yeah.
than I like to.
Yeah, fair.
So we retired him real quick.
Okay.
That was the one where I just had to hear you say a name too, right?
Yeah, that was the one.
Rego Death says 6 checks, 5 perks, so that you can get the hit point one.
Yeah. Checks is what you get. I believe Rich already told us, maybe off stream, that he's
No,
definitely getting that 5
Yeah, and then I
one.
needed 2 for it.
That was an important discovery. Oh, man. I mean, I'm happy that I get to play Click Trail Sniff Click one more time after this construction phase.
Mm-hmm.
But I also got really hyped up for Miss Thumpa, the Algox Snow Dancer.
You'll still get her.
I know, but now I have to wait.
Now you
But
gotta wait.
she's going to be great. That's going to be a
Ooh.
fun
I feel like
character.
The Pain Conduit is like gets way more XP than any other character I've played. Like this.
Yeah,
Some
you
are
are leveling
fast.
up at a steady clip.
Speaking of though, retire a character. We're not quite there. Next
We're not
time
quite there.
Next time we come, we will be there. And then we've
But
got.
I named this episode "The Lurker." What? The Lurker goes. The Lurker skulks away.
Not quite.
Well, she skulked away to
Gonna have to-
the haunted vault And the
You're gonna have to
team
rename
followed
that
her
one for YouTube, James.
to say goodbye. Nope.
Craft items. None of us are crafting. Brew potions. Rich did his brewing, and we planted our arrow vine. Flamefruit. And then sell items. I don't think anybody's selling anything. And then we're on to construction.
Sweet. And I already have a future episode title in the can now. It's The Lurker Skulks Away for real.
The Lurker really skulks away.
Yeah. Leave. Yeah. That's the better placement.
Actually,
Okay.
how many small items am I allowed to have?
That is a good question. That is
It's a
easy
weird
to roll.
formula. How many do you have?
Well, now 3, but I feel like I should probably can I do that? It seems like a lot.
It's a
I
simple.
bet Greg finds it faster than me. 1 per odd level. So yeah, 3. You can have 3.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Small items are great. Love a small item.
All right, construction. What do we got?
Construction.
What can we build?
Well,
Or upgrade?
oh, before we do that, the exciting reveal, which is that. Watch me have lost it again. I found the Carpenter stickers, which were thought lost. I had put them they were just in the box, like on the side of a thing, but like.
Oh my god.
Really tough.
I've been thinking about nothing other than that since however many weeks ago we all talked about that. I can't believe you found that.
It was
James.
months ago at this point, Rich.
You can tell that both Rich and Greg are surprised by this news. That we didn't.
I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight.
That we didn't waste the reveal in the pre-show chat.
Hunter, did you hear the news? I've already forgotten the thing. What is it?
I really want to know what you think it is. Take a stab. Take any stab.
Where the hell? I cannot find where it's supposed to go.
It was something was missing. James thought he had lost something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it a crafts person?
It's the Carpenter.
Yeah, it's the Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Rich understands. Whoa.
I am somewhat of a
We
crafts
have the
person
level 1
myself.
Carpenter.
I took a basketball net apart the other day, and it had 4 screws I needed to unscrew. A new personal
I'm on the
best.
wrong screen. So nobody got to see my expert putting on of the bifurcated Carpenter sticker.
Yeah.
Very smoothly. Folds like a charm, like a dream. So that's in there, and now we get to build something.
Yeah.
So,
what are our options, James?
What are our options? We have prosperity level 4 still? Yeah. I don't know. Hold on. Here we are. Okay. Not the mining camp. The hunting lodge could be upgraded.
Okay.
I think the garden could be upgraded.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah?
Is that is that it? Is there anything else?
Oh, but will the upgraded garden uproot this sticker when we have to cover it over with a new, like, will that cancel the existing garden?
I don't know.
Let's hold off on upgrading the garden. The Alchemist.
That's fine. I got our games mixed up. I was thinking about the beautiful garden that Greg described in D&D, the inside garden.
Oh, right.
It was a
That was a very nice garden.
I was like, why are we not all leaping on this opportunity?
Let's go. Let's hang out in the pleasure gardens.
Really stuck with me.
Best downtime phase ever. Okay. I say we upgrade the Alchemist, actually, because we were actually talking about that earlier. Yep.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
Great minds, Rigodeth. Rigodeth chimes in with pretty sure Alchemist upgrade had been your old plan for the queue, and it was, and we should do it.
Right.
Greg,
What
the
is
cost of this is going to be 4 lumber, 4 metal, 2 hide.
Man, no wonder we have so much hide. We never use it for anything. Okay.
Just use some.
Well, I will take the 2 straight from the outpost. I will also take 2 of the lumber and 2 of the metal straight from the outpost, which means we still have 2 more of each to spend. I have 2 of each, so I'll just take both of mine. I don't need them.
Great.
And we are all spent up.
Okay. Now, just got to find one more sticker in this horrible, unorganized mess of stickers that I have.
James, you have a bad habit of prioritizing how the game looks to our audience, which is not a bad habit in itself. No. But it is a bad habit when you do it at the expense of how the game is run and organized for yourself and us.
I've started cleaning this up, and I'm getting there. And I found it. And my search didn't have me running all over the room, because I knew that it was in one confined location. It's just still there's a bunch of sticker sheets. And there's only one Alchemist upgrade left, so it's the only sticker
of its kind. This is a fully upgraded building, eh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So the Alchemist is right there. Looks like this right now. Pretty good. Now it's swank. Ooh, and that was some fine sticker placement. I didn't even notice I was trying to line up a little side building, and I nailed it. That's an auspicious sign. Okay, so as you would probably expect, the Alchemist, level 3, lets us brew and distill 2 and 3 herb potions.
Okay.
So next downtime phase, we get to find out about our first 3 herb potion. I think there's a real chance I can get Danielle back.
With the promise of potions?
Of the punch board. Of letting her do the punch board. Okay. We have built the Alchemist. We have added the Alchemist. We actually have to update the map. So we'll go back north for a moment before the road event, because I forgot about, solving the puzzle unlocked us an area.
Oh, do we not read anything for fully upgrading the building?
Oh, wait. So we do. +1 prosperity tick.
Oh, sweet.
Good catch, Greg.
Oh, yeah, and more things, too. Hold on. Build on body maker. So, yeah, you gain 1 prosperity.
Yep, 1 prosperity tick. So I'm doing that right now. And we have 5 to go to get to level 5. Not bad. Okay. And then, yes, sorry. So notice, it's a gold Alchemist now. And we're going to read section 183.5.
You see, Rich, I knew that this game wouldn't make us do a thing and then make us not read a thing.
Yeah.
That's
It could.
Well, it's going to get us our full 90-minute episode, so thank goodness for all this content. Section 183.5, Alchemist Upgraded. The final stage of the Alchemist Lab is complete. With its expansion, you can now brew more advanced potions. Inside, you encounter bubbling vats and work tables covered in retorts and alembics. Among the glassware toil, multiple residents of Frosthaven, including, oddly, the Savas playwright, Eros. I never pegged Eros as an alchemist. Eros flips its long scarf across its stony shoulder and gives you an equally stony look. I'm researching poisons for a play where 2 lovers scheme to kill their enemies. Eros sniffs at your incredulous expression. It won't be real poison. I simply need the actors to appear sickly enough to convince the audience. With a grandiose gesture, the Savus squeezes a dropper into a vial. The potion promptly produces a puff of nauseous smoke. Eros reels backwards, and you quickly herd everyone out. It's a good thing you told them to include ventilation in the building. We're going to add items 59 to 65 to the random item blueprint deck. So this does not reveal them now. We don't need to go through them.
Okay.
But there will be more options in the deck.
Did Savas always talk like 1950s robots?
Always.
They're all okay. So all the pictures.
You don't remember me doing that?
They're always like, oh, their mouths in every picture of them.
Their
like,
mouths are always agape. It's true.
They are, yeah.
So just all of them thunder with no intonation. Doesn't necessarily have to land on a robot, but I try to just make them all bellowing, but without like seeming like they're emotionally worked up. Okay, so just need to find the glowing catacombs in the multi-board flowchart. Here it is. Yeah, you could do the Never-Ending Story rock guy. Although I am not super familiar with that film. So, past the glowing catacombs, which is weird. You'd think it'd be the kind of movie that I had like seen as a child a bunch, and was really into. But I never saw it when I was a kid. Someone showed it to me as an adult. But... Anyway, so beyond the glowing catacombs is the Haunted Vault, which itself has a locked thing. It requires us to have completed a scenario with a certain color band on it. So we'll worry about that later. But we add the Haunted Vault, which will go to H6 on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do you know that Jack Black plays a bully in the Never-Ending Story 2?
No, I was definitely not
One of his
hip to that.
It's one of his earliest film roles. He plays what looks to be like a skinhead bully.
Wow. How about that? I didn't know that. I was completely unaware. Okay, hold on. Put the new Alchemist back into the deck with its sweet gold banner. Tell us it's the ultimate Alchemist. We have updated the map. The Outpost phase is over, so just for efficiency's sake, let's do the road event so that next time we can just start playing a gimmicky puzzle scenario with a lot of floor switches. This is Summer Road Event 31. You're just a few minutes outside the town gate when you spot 4 guards with a curious catch. An Abael warrior clasped in chains. Because again, just one weird scenario text thing made me hypothesize this whole it's impossible to remember the Abael once they're out of your sight.
Nope.
Which would have been way cooler than just one oddly written, like one scenario text is really poorly written. Someone should have caught that in editing. An Abael warrior clasped in chains. It looks resigned to its fate. Look what we nabbed! The guard proudly displays the Abael as though it were a trophy. We got it with barely a fight. We'll keep it as a hostage to stop the next attack. Strange. An Abael would normally fight to the death, as we know, as experts on the Abael, not surrender to capture. Out of the corner of your eye, you see some faint movement along the shore. Yes, you're sure of it. Abaeli, a dozen or more, creeping just out of sight. It's an ambush waiting to happen. For once, we've got the upper hand on these monsters, the guard jeers. Option A, get the guards to release the captured Abael immediately. Option B, escort the captive back to the town walls. So we're going in hurt if we bring this prisoner back, for sure. Unless one of us has the trait that makes us good at wrangling Abael.
I'm resourceful and educated and armored, but I can't imagine that has anything to do with it.
I know I'm nimble and intimidating. Where's my thing?
Intimidating could be useful.
It's possible, yeah.
I am chaotic,
Armored,
intimidating,
nimble, and intimidating.
What was the last one, Rich?
Outcast.
Oh,
Does that help?
is that helpful? Okay. So, sorry. I missed the part where we left the walls, if I'm being honest. So we either go back to the walls with him.
Yep. We're only a few minutes outside the town gate when we found him. And apparently there have been Abael attacks, but all while we're out of town. And no one's reported to us on them.
Well, James, what do you think we should do?
The thing is, the game, our experience has told us nothing about the Abael, or whether it seems like we really ought to have a hostage. But I guess we should. But I don't know. The frustrating thing is that Click Trail Snip Click would surely know.
Yes, that's true.
But I can't, so I can't roleplay
waters.
my character here.
Well,
I say let him go.
if we go back to the gates, do you think they'll make?
Yeah,
us
we
do
know they
another
love
outpost
piranha
phase?
pigs. They heard them. Sorry, Greg?
If we go back to the gates, do you think they'll make us do another outpost phase?
I bet they won't. But maybe they will. Don't you kind of want to find out? No?
No.
All right, let's let them
Wait,
go.
so you want
I
to give
really
him
don't
back?
think that's what they'll do.
I
But
want to
okay.
give him back.
Okay, let's give him back.
All right. Just let's not get us killed, guards. Just let them go. Option A. The guard's eyes grow wide as you quietly explain the reality of the situation. He turns calmly and relays your message. Then, with a cry of "Run!" you all sprint to the gate as the Abael ambushers spring their trap. You all get to safety, but not without injuries. All characters start the next scenario with a wound, but we all gain a hide. So who's to say if this was a good or a bad outcome?
Is that no? That's not a scenario effect. That is a road event effect, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we do not resolve the below threat. And it suddenly occurs to me that this was actually very clearly communicated to us had we paid attention closer to the challenge text. But we don't resolve a 4-target attack 40 on the town, which is great news. Because the explanatory text told us that normally an Abael would fight to the death. So why would having a hostage stop them from attacking? Wouldn't it provoke them to attack and fight to the death?
Yeah.
So good thing we let them go. We are wounded because they still ambushed us. It's not like they're grateful that we did the humane thing.
Yeah.
But we do get a hide, so it's impossible to say whether this was good or bad. And we're on to the next thing.
Okay.
This
I'm
scenario.
just gonna write wound at the top of my sheet so I remember.
Yeah, and so that's it. That's our set of puzzles, our phase. We're going to the Haunted Vault scenario, which we won't get into it right now. But suffice to say, the special rules are long, and they involve a lot of foot switches on the floor. And also, if we're playing 3-player, which I suspect we are, we will have an invisible helper who has no role except standing invisibly on a foot switch for us.
Oh, thanks, guy.
It's the night shroud.
It's the night trap.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm not allowed to do this anymore.
They said I was good.
I just want to watch.
That's why they
I
made
wanna-
Michael Jordan retire. That's why they made me retire.
All right. So yeah, boom. We're done. This was good. We learned some things, including an accidental thing we learned, hinting at the existence of something that waits, which obviously Crane is going to awaken or summon or something. I could tell this nerd is going to do something terrible to us. But that makes the puzzle book all the more exciting. So we'll find out about that puzzle. I'll take a look at the map, see if I can triangulate those coordinates, and we'll go from there. Coming up this weekend, On Saturday, Star Control 3 is in the doghouse. After I got off to a pretty good start with my second playthrough attempt, only to learn that there's a known bug where if you progress too quickly through the early stages of the quest, it just disables some of the story triggers and then you can't play the game. The second anomaly will never collapse and the story will never advance. So I want to enjoy that game, so it's on pause for a little bit till I can play it without being like, all right, let's slog through this again for the third time in 6 weeks. So instead, we're going to play Space Quest 4, Roger Wilco and the Time Rippers. It's the first point-and-click, 256-color VGA graphics Space Quest. It's the Space Quest equivalent of King's Quest 5. But I'm hopeful that it'll be less obtuse in some of its puzzle design. And less lazy in the rest of its puzzle design. Because King's Quest 5 only really hits those two poles of just handing it to you. You find a bone on one screen, you walk to the next screen, there's a dog. Or you had to make sure every time it asked you to eat that you didn't eat the pie. Because you can only defeat a Yeti at the end of the game with a pie from the start of the game. But anyway, hopefully Space Quest 4 won't be doing that kind of stuff. But we'll find out together. On Sunday, we're still doing Ultima 7 Part 2, Serpent Isle, now and forever. But there's a new mystery to solve. It involves some stuff that I think I've figured out by re-watching old videos. But I find it obnoxious that people just playing this game without recording themselves are expected to make all these connections and remember all these stupid details. But I think I know what might be going on. And I don't know how to deal with what I think might be going on. We'll find out together. Greg and James Beat 'em Up cannot launch next Wednesday either. We're delayed another week because it's first year design project presentation week. I have to sit and watch the same presentation again and again and again. It won't be the same, actually. They're doing self-directed projects. So that's actually pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. But it is a lot of presentations, including during when we will be doing this. It's not going to interfere with Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday, though, which might even be called Thursday Night Frosthaven, if I can buy a couple hours to whip up a new graphic. Because we're going to be on Thursday for the rest of the year, for the rest of our second year of this show. And yeah, so before you know it, it'll be Thursday again. And we're going in to the Haunted Vault. So hey, if you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you cannot hear my voice. But I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we play Frosthaven, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.